just look at these faces. 8 of them here and one here, and so that's 9, and the rest of the 5 names are here. These are people who actually died because of a hoarding which fell inside the premises of a petrol pump. Most of them were there to refuel their vehicles. One guy here was an employee of the petrol pump. There's a taxi driver. There is somebody who, of course, was sitting in that taxi as well. There are other private vehicles. So here's the whole spectrum of the kind of people who lost their lives. You can see there's someone who's just 24, there's someone who's 60. So what I'm trying to do here or say here is that, the value of life is so little in this country that you have a case of an illegal hoarding being smashed down by the first gust of wind and unseasonal rain, and it takes down 14 lives. One life could have been saved, it seems. There's a story here that talks about this young boy who was not rescued on time. I think he's the one who was an employee, Sachin Yadav, 23 years of age. The relative of Sachin claims that he died due to delay in rescue. Sachin and several of his colleagues were trapped under the collapsed hoarding, but it took a long time for the crane to arrive, after which rescue work started. He passed away in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. So as I was reading this, and I realized that here is what is wrong with this country. There are certain businesses where there is a lot of money to be made, and everyone wants a piece of the pie. Outdoor media business is one of them. It is over 8,000 crore business. Around 4,000 of it is organized outdoor media business, and another 4,000 crore is, from all accounts and purposes, from all reports, is unorganized outdoor media business. So one can just imagine, when that is the sort of money to be made, everyone wants to be in it. And what is wrong with breaking a few rules if that is the sort of money that is in the making? That is the money that is on the offer. So this is a classic case of how different authorities within the same state government have absolutely no coordination, no understanding, and they keep shifting the blame to each other. It happened in the Gokhale Bridge case, and it's happened again in this hoarding case, where the land on which the hoarding was installed belonged to the Government Railway Police, or the GRP. The BMC claims that they do not have jurisdiction over GRP land. In fact, they claim that they even contested this particular provision that GRP land will be entirely under GRP jurisdiction. BMC wanted control over the hoardings, but they were denied control over hoardings that are installed on GRP land. This is a case that went to court, and the Bombay High Court denied BMC the right to jurisdiction over hoardings that are in GRP land. So then, who is accountable for this? The Government Railway Police. They must be questioned. Why, first of all, they had a hoarding of this size, of this level and extent of, the hoarding was such that it's 3 times the size of the permissible size, what is permissible by BMC. BMC's limit is 40 feet by 40 feet. This hoarding was of the size of 120 feet by 120 feet. So it was 3 times larger than the permissible size by BMC, which of course came to the notice of BMC. They objected to it. They wrote about it to GRP. Firstly, nothing came of it. Now GRP says we are going to do an internal inquiry to see if there were any security safety lapses, and we will get back to you. That's how it works. The state government, of course, must be answerable. GRP comes under the Home Ministry. BMC also, to a certain extent, is answerable to the state government in these matters of, say, road safety or public safety. It is, after all, the state government's responsibility to ensure that citizen safety in this state is not compromised. That is supposed to be part of their basic mandate of any elected government, for that matter. Citizen safety. That's the first thing that must be ensured, which is supposed to be paramount. But this government has failed. And it is not this government, it is also the previous government that was in power in Maharashtra. Because all of these contracts, all of these businesses have been thriving for quite some time. What is interesting also to note is that here is a man who has rape charges against him. He is somebody who even contested assembly elections. And now, very conveniently, after the hoarding collapse happened, the man is incommunicado. His phone is switched off, the police could not trace him, and FIR has been lodged against him for culpable homicide not amounting to murder and various other charges. But where is the guy? Where is Bhavesh Shinde? Where is he absconding right now? Bhavesh Bhinde, I beg your pardon. He is untraceable at the moment. He has rape and cheating cases against him. He is the owner of Ego Media Private Limited that owned this hoarding. This hoarding apparently was one of their prized possessions, one that was highly profitable for Ego Media Private Limited because it had a rent of 2 crore, 2 cr per month. So it was, in fact, Bhavesh Bhinde even sent a nomination, sent its the details to the Limca Book of Records to win the largest hoarding in Asia prize. So he was more interested in getting an accolade with this hoarding, not realizing that this is such a public safety hazard, and it has only taken the first gust of wind this year for the hoarding to come down. Later, when structural experts looked at this case, they said that hoarding of this size should have had a far stronger base. There were flouting of rules at every level. It was sheer negligence. It was a sheer case of bunch of people trying to make quick money, a quick buck out of it, and it has taken the lives of 14 Mumbaikars. There's something to think about, that how are these different departments of the government operating in this manner, which is completely against public interest. Why is it that all hoardings that are installed in the city not being monitored by one particular authority, rather than have this sort of a system where different departments can have different sort of rules applied to them, and the BMC rules do not apply to GRP land? That itself is such a farce. It makes no sense. So I leave it to you to decide that who you hold responsible for it. A lot of people are now saying that the bureaucrats, they get away, and the people who own businesses, they are the ones who are exposed easily, and they are made scapegoats. In this case, of course, here is a man who seems to be a repeat offender. He has violated several other rules before as well. He's, like I said, booked in a cheating case and a rape case, and he was somebody who enjoyed proximity to the political leaders, apparently in the previous government as well, owing to which he got this sort of a immunity where his hoardings were allowed in GRP land, probably to make it out of the ambit of the BMC rules. Is that a possibility? Do write in and do comment and tell me how we can solve this. Who will crack the whip? Where will the buck stop? And how will things change? How will the civic apathy that we see around us ever change in this country?